Hi 5P. So we're going to continue our math lessons. Right before the break, we were learning to multiply decimals by 10. Now we're going to continue that. So this is our objective. I can multiply decimals up to 3 decimal places by 10, by 100, and 1,000, and their multiples. So that means I could multiply decimal places by 10, or by 20, 30, 40, 50. I can multiply by 100 or 200, 300, 400, 500, and so on, or 1,000 or 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 or more, right? So those are their multiples. Okay, so multiplying decimals by multiples of 10. Okay. So this is what we did before the break. Just to refresh your memory, what is 2 5/100 times 10? Okay, so this is a visual. If I have 2 wholes and 5/100, right, there's my 2 wholes and my 5/100 times 10, that means I would have 20 wholes and 5/10, right? So I like this representation a lot. We're moving over in the decimal place because we're multiplying by 10. Okay? And this we did before the break. This we also did before the break. If I have 345 thousandths times 10, if you just look at that 3, the 3/10 times 10, you should be able to understand that I'll have 3 wholes, right? And everything moves over 1 decimal place. It increases its value by 10, right? So that's a visual. I have 3/10, 4/100, 5/1000. I multiply each of those by 10. I'll have 3 wholes, 4/10, and 5/100. So I like this place value chart because it's just showing you that we're moving over once on the decimal place, right? It's times 10, and we've moved over once on the decimal place. Times 10 times 10, and everything's moved over once. Okay? That's the answer. Okay, so today we're going to take it just one step further, okay? Not a big jump, just one step further. So what if I had, now let's think about this. What if I had 2/10 twice, okay? 2/10 twice, 2 dimes twice. I would have 4/10. What if I had 2/10 10 times? So 2/10 10 times, right? Then I would have 2 wholes, right? 2 dimes 10 times, I would have 2 wholes. So if we put that together, what if I have 2/10 20 times? Okay, so I'm going to show you how I think actually the best way to understand this problem is to, just like it's broken apart here, is we're going to solve these problems by breaking them apart. Of course, there are other ways to solve this, but I really want you to understand these problems. Okay, so what if I had 2/10 30 times? Now I want you to remember, 30 is made up of a 3 times 10. So we're going to multiply 2/10 times 3 times 10, because that's what 30 is. I'm going to show this to you on the screen, and then I'm going to do it for you on my board. 2/10 10 times is 2 wholes, but also times 3. This is method 1. There's another method also. So I have the 2 wholes 3 times is 6. So 2/10 times 30 is 6 wholes. Here's a second method, which I think I like better. But they both work, I mean, very similar ways. So 2/10 times 3 is 6/10, right? 2 times 3 is 6. And then that times 10. You move over the decimal place once, and you get 6 wholes. So I'm